in my bedroom is a poster, and it says, I'm not delusional, I'm an entrepreneur. And we have one company here who's going straight into the music space, going after Spotify, and you go on, Pandora and everything else. And they're doing something interesting that's going to cause a win-win for both users and musicians. We're going to hear about it right now. It's called Hero.fm. And who are you?
So I'm Andrew Antar. I'm the founder of Hero.fm. It's a music startup and social network. And I originally a violin player, artist, designer, do all kinds of things, wear all kinds of hats. And,
right.
Yeah.
Very cool. So why go into the music space? Because Spotify's out there, Pandora, MySpace. I mean, you're going against musicians who are doing MySpace.
So we decided to go up against all the big giants, and not just for that reason, mostly because we're passionate about music and just totally dissatisfied with what's out there in the current solutions, especially for artists, for fans, and it's just sort of a totally fragmented ecosystem, and nobody's getting what they actually want from any individual product. They get a small piece of what they want, and they have to jump around everywhere to get other things that they need. So we wanted to create this totally comprehensive solution around this with a content media-based network, user-generated content, and allow direct fan distribution, social networking, live shows, and everything streaming discovery that you could possibly want.
So what's your differentiator? I mean, we have free music now off of Spotify or Pandora. What makes you better or different than that?
So our system is based on the fact that everything is already free everywhere, and you can get it for free. So you can stream for free, you can pirate or download for free. And so given that, people should be able to listen to music as many times as they want before they buy. So we have a hybrid stream and sell license where you can listen to as many times as you want and buy directly from the artist. The other thing is that we're not locking anyone into $69, $99, $29, and we're not paying streaming through the publishing companies. So the streaming is free. The artists set any fixed price they want. They can also do name your price, so give a free download and have people donate as much as they want. And what we've seen is this model just works better in general. And the obvious player is Bandcamp, where you can stream everything for free. And Name Your Price albums have sold 50% more on average. And in general, there's many albums for free, and people even put more money in than the fixed price. So people want to support the artist directly, and they don't want to put their money into a sort of black hole of the industry where they don't know 40% is going to one guy and 30% is going to another guy. The artist is getting screwed and they're starving in the street. And so we want something there people can not only have a seamless, instant buy experience, an impulse buy experience, it's emotional at the right time when it needs to happen with no friction, but they feel good about it because they're supporting the artist directly. The artist gets paid, everybody feels good about it. It's just the ultimate network.
Yeah. So we should see it so people have a context of it.
Absolutely.
And, let's dive into that, and then I'll ask you all the tougher questions, like how are you going to get distribution and get people addicted to this?
Absolutely.
So what are we seeing here?
So right now we're seeing the music discovery page. So there's three main columns here: top artist, top album, top songs, and you can rank this based on what's the newest stuff on the network, what's the hottest stuff on the network, different prices and locations. So we can see that this was probably uploaded a couple minutes ago, and I don't know if we should play it right now, but basically here's all the albums. So if you click play on that album, it goes through the whole album. You can skip the different tracks. You can review artists that you think are cool from here. You can review albums that you think are cool. And this is also another discovery interface. It's more sort of geographical based, the new map.
Can you look music up by genre? Like I like electronic or dubstep music.
So I can say
you don't have to show me. I just wanted to know that it was possible.
Absolutely. So yeah, you can put in your genre, and then it'll find all the people that are electro or dubstep, and you can play them, and you can say electro just in LA or just in Australia or something, or You can do jazz in New York, or just mix and match different types of things. Plus, you can find Beatle-based instrument too.
Now, a lot of people are going to wonder what's the percentage of popular music you have on this. I mean, if I search for Elton John or Beatles or Skrillex,
so you're not going to find that because basically you can find that everywhere already. We're a source of new music that you've never heard of before, that is probably higher quality than the things that you generally hear on the radio, and it's because it's a totally grassroots network of artists who are trying to get their name out there. There's between 10 to 30 million artists that are online trying to put their material and get it out there, and only about 5,000 major label acts. So, most people know of all those names of around, most of those 5,000.
Yeah.
And the 10 million, 30 million, nobody knows of. But they're insanely talented. They have all the tools to make really high quality productions. And now it's a marketing issue, and it's showcasing your content in a cohesive way, and having a network of fans, and knowing who your fans are, and doing all those things that new artists really need. So we feel like we're the industry for the future century of musicians and artists who are trying to get out there.
Can I see your page? Because I know you're a violinist,
absolutely.
And maybe we can see your page. So
this is the first page that actually had content on it. Hopefully it loads. All right, so here we go. We have a nice banner up here, so anybody can sort of create a nice panorama and have their location, their instrument, everything. You toggle open the gallery here, and you can see all different kinds of stuff. This is a show that I did at the TLA in Philly recently. That was really cool. So you can, and a lot of bands just have like all their band photos there, and you can also have YouTube videos. So you can embed the video right there super easily, and that's really the only embed we have because we don't want to deal with videos. But we decided not to embed music because we want the music, and we take only lossless masters, so eighth wave or FLAC. We convert it to all the formats fans could want, so all the MP3 variable bit rates, the AAC, FLAC, different kinds of things, and obviously stream it as well. So that's why we take all the content and deliver it in a sort of a nice way.
No, that's really cool. And then is there a social network that I can talk with you about things? Or?
So if you wanted to fan mail me, it would be right here, and here's the sort of fan mail interface right here.
Okay.
And so tons of people like message back and forth based on different things. And this is how you would communicate with somebody who you find. So you want to collaborate with an artist, or you just want to thank them for their music, or you're asking them a question about it, you can just do that as if you were tweeting. But you can't do that on Spotify, and you can't do that on iTunes.
Right.
So that sort of direct connection with the fan is what makes people feel really special, and ultimately what makes them buy and go to a show and really become a huge super fan.
Yeah. So let's go back to your profile page.
Yeah.
And along the side, I see that you have a list of fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're building a social network where you're like following people, stuff like that?
Yeah, so everything on the site is based off fanning. So if I fan an artist, like if I go to do another one of these,
you don't have to do it.
I don't have to do it.
I just wanted to.
If I click this button, then I'll be on their fan column. And then all the people who I'm a fan of, who are also in the library, I get to follow through the fan feed. So this is sort of like a musical news feed that's infinite scroll, and then you can sort of see everything.
Okay.
I'm used to scrolling the other way.
Cool.
But yeah.
And if somebody buys a song from you, how much does your service keep? How much do you get as a musician?
So as a musician, I'll get 90% of everything, and Hero will get 10%.
Okay.
So,
and is there a preset price per song, or do I decide what to pay you?
Basically, the artist decides whatever fixed price they want, or they can decide to have a neighbor price, and the fan can put in any price they want as a sort of donation and get the free download.
Very cool.
And here's where I would collect as an artist in the payments tab here.
And so this is pretty cool. An interesting way for musicians to get paid and find new fans and all that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you saw you had 62 fans, so the question is, how are you going to get the massive distribution? How are you going to build a brand and build something that people around the
Absolutely.
world think of when they think
Yeah.
of music instead of thinking of MySpace or Spotify or
Absolutely.
Pandora.
So we're super early and have a long way to go, and obviously want to get to millions of users. So right now we're starting with a grassroots marketing campaign. We found that in addition to sort of online emailing bands through all different channels, we have somebody in every major city who's either a booker, promoter, just knows tons of bands, who are emailing them personally, Facebook messaging them, putting shows that Hero sponsors, and doing all kinds of different banners and events and things like that. So that's how we're getting our sort of grassroots network. So we have a ton of people in Philly and some in LA and some around here, and just sort of different cities that we have pockets of activity. And then right now we're also building our API, and what that's going to be able to enable us to do, in addition to the mobile apps, is do integrations with big distributors. So the Orchard has a app marketplace where they can turn on the Hero app. It'll create accounts for all their bands, upload all their assets, do all the work for them, and then hand over the account to the artist to actually use like a social media account. So, and they have 30,000 independent labels, close to 500,000 bands, and then we want to also do similar integrations, potentially with Bandpage Connect and Topspin, and sort of link in all the players, so all the artists that are currently hooked up to the current networks can still use Hero as a sort of cohesive content experience for their music.
Yeah. Mobile apps. This, you've shown me a web browser. Do you have a mobile plan in
So
place?
the mobile plan is definitely a plan right now, because there's still a lot of development to do. But it's basically going to have the same business model, the same sort of interface as the website. So you'll be able to discover all kinds of artists. You'll have your profile, be able to stream for free. And when you download from an artist, or all your purchases that you've had, you'll be able to store them locally on your device. So right now, if you have a Spotify account, there's a big switch that says available offline. And generally, before a flight or something where you're not going to have internet, which always costs money, you're rushing to available offline all the albums that you actually care about. So things that you really would have bought anyway. And then on Google's end, they do the same thing. They call it pinning. So you pin it to your device locally. And then for Apple, obviously, with iCloud, you download to your device. So while all these services aren't charging you for that, we believe that that local storage is really of only the albums that you care about that you would pay for, and that free streaming when you have internet is just basic marketing for artists. Like, they want you to stream their songs as much as possible in order to discover them in the first place.
Yep. It's a smart model. Good luck to you. It's a tough space. I mean, even with all the hype that Spotify's gotten, I think they've had a few million users, right? It hasn't gone hyper mainstream yet.
I think it's around 26 million.
Yeah. But it's not Instagram that has 200 million users.
Exactly.
And it's not Facebook that has 1 billion users, right?
Exactly.
So,
and the thing is that they have a tough business model, because they're paying tons of money in streaming, and the artists are not happy about the money that they're getting paid anyway. And then they have to do all these advertising campaigns with Twix or this brand or that brand, and they sort of trash the whole product with tons of ads and all this commercial stuff that you don't want in your music experience. And lately, I've seen most of the ads are actually just Spotify ads of please upgrade to premium. So it doesn't seem like they're even filling all their ad space. So it's really hard if you're trying to have your business model go against your own music experience. And we want to cut all that out and have the business model be artists getting paid by fans who care about them. It's just so basic, and we don't understand why the industry has grown up to be the way it is. And we're sort of, as musicians, as artists, as young people trying to make it in music or network or just, do what we're passionate about, we're creating a ground-up platform that's completely new licensed, artist-controlled, that's fair, that's right, and just gives a really awesome experience for everybody.
are you thinking about radio station capabilities or curation experiences?
Absolutely, yeah.
Or playlists. I love playlists on Spotify because I can pass you 100 songs.
Yeah,
like
of course.
that, right?
So one feature is we're going to be able to easily fan mail a song or fan mail a list of songs, and we're working on that. But more importantly, we're doing a Hero radio show. So our head of marketing, Boy Wonder, who's in Philadelphia, he and one of our other marketers, Danny Mari and Rachel Shane, are putting together a radio show in which they pick hero artists that they like. And they're even using that as a marketing tool to say, if you want to be featured on a radio show, you have to have a hero profile with all your music up. they'll use those songs, they'll curate it, they'll talk in between the songs and sort of record a couple hour set or a 1 hour set, upload that to one of the Hero pages, and then we'll feature that prominently on our homepage. So when you go there, you'll be able to just start hearing indie music, as if it were a radio station right away.
Very cool.
Jump in.
Tell me about the business. How many employees do you have right now, and how are you funded? And tell me all that.
So we started sort of out of college at Brown. It was more of like a student group called Musicians at Brown, and we had our friends who were programmers, started working on like a really basic site, and then it became the summer, and we decided to hire a couple people, a couple developers at like $100 a week, just really super lean. Using our own money to start building it, and then we kept needing more people and more money to do it, and then I decided that Brown was the ultimate nexus for entrepreneurship. There's just insanely smart, talented people that are not all trying to go into consulting and finance. So it's the perfect place to start companies, and meanwhile there is no actual program at Brown for companies to be started. There is for post-grad and other things. So I decided to start the first incubator at Brown called Brown Venture Labs. And there's a $100,000 fund that was anonymously donated for social ventures through a social innovation initiative, and that's a very strong program at Brown. So we decided to sort of tie together the entrepreneurship program with the social innovation initiative, get this fund to fund startups of people who are actually students on campus working in companies. So we gave everyone $4,000 grant to 6 different companies, and now I think they're in their 3rd class iteration. And so Hero, even though we helped start it, then we decided to be a participant and apply to our own program. And so we got the grant from there, and then we've been mostly in support from family and investing our own money, and recently got an angel investment from Andy Hertzfeld.
Very cool. Andy Hertzfeld's Apple's first software developer, and many in the industry regard him as the best software developer in the industry ever.
Yeah.
So, that's good. Good guy to have on your advising board.
Yeah, and lots of people trying to work for us, and the cool factor is something we don't have a problem with because we're music, it's independent, it's social. We have we have an advisory board of really high-powered people in the music industry. One of the founders of eMusic, a manager who's sold over $1 billion of songs, and we have Andy Hertzfeld behind us. So we've got like some really cool people working with us, really cool names, and now it's just a matter of scaling this to get tons of users, tons of people, tons of bands, tons of artists, and then we really want to go into hero causes, which is a sort of nonprofit side where we're throwing benefit concerts and having people buying music and also donating to causes and doing cool stuff like that.
Let's talk about scale. How are you going to keep this system up? How are you hosted?
So we're hosted on Rackspace and ton of different technologies like MongoDB and Nginx, and so our upload system, since we're taking uncompressed masters, is super complex, and we've actually been working on it for the last 6 to 8 months of upgrading it from the original sort of basic uploader we had, which was failing a lot with these massive files. So it uploads to our space, through our servers, and goes through Rackspace. We're using S3 for some things. They have some Python packages we like, and then using all kinds of different stuff. There's like a 12-step list of how the songs are uploaded, processed, converted, stored, distributed, and
wow,
it's fun stuff.
The geeky part of the music business. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think this weekend I'm going to see Steve Greenberg, who's a famous music producer. He
Cool.
discovered the Jonas Brothers, and he's the dog on Who Let the Dogs Out.
Oh, okay.
He's the wolf.
Yeah. Oh, we should get him on Hero.
I'll show this to him and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And,
Absolutely.
thanks for
Thank
coming
you very
in.
much.
Where do we get it, by the way? What's the URL?
Oh, Hero, HEARO.fm.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.